Okay. Yes. There we go. Okay. I thought my webcam was being weird, but it wasn't. At least not as weird as I thought it was being. Anyway, good evening, folks. And welcome to another session of the Crimson Diamond. So I decided that I want to rewind a little bit, because I think I may have missed a conversation that I could have eavesdropped on. And I found the save file that I want, which is this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to redo some stuff that we did last time. Starting with this conversation here. What an unpleasant complication. Margot had to die at such an inconvenient time. It certainly wasn't what I was expecting. I wonder. Never mind that right now. Help me jimmy this desk drawer open. Hey, Blacktails. I know, I always gotta test my chat, because sometimes it doesn't work. And it hasn't not worked in quite some time, but I've gotten into the habit of testing it, so I do it every time. I'm starting to think Father never made a will after all. He was always such a grand dreamer and never very organized. Nothing in here but bits and bobs and newspaper clippings. We have our contingency plan. I'm not concerned. I'm stepping outside for a cig. I'll keep searching for a little while longer, but I've got to beat Albert in the gazebo soon. He seems like he's willing to help us with Plan B, for a price. Good. You don't hear anything notable coming from the study right now. Okay. That's it to meet Albert in the gazebo. So I'm gonna save again. Go away, I'm busy. What do you want? I'm just tidying up in here. Evan's lazy, Jack's lazy. They lack the will to do what needs done. Nessa looks as irritated and impatient as always. She restlessly moves from place to place. She seems to be looking for something. Oops. What I'm doing is none of your business. Stay out of my way. Yes, Julia Minamata is the dev behind this game. So I tagged her. And usually when I do, she's like, thank you for streaming my game, yay. Because she's a big old sweetheart. Peculiar name. Why do you say that? Right. Don't look at anything, don't touch anything. I'm busy here. Okay, Nessa. Well, fine then. I'm the elder child. By rights, this place should belong to me. I'll find our father's will, no matter how hard Evan tries to get in my way. Humph. But that's none of your business. Well, I certainly like her a lot better now. You're disgusting, Nessa. Corvus is probably seated in his favorite spot, the bench outside the study. He goes there for peace and quiet, so leave him alone. I'm gonna bug him. He's busy with his work, I'm sure. I think he's upstairs. Corvus is sitting on a bench, relaxing. How are you doing, Corvus? I'm doing just fine, Miss Maple. The Japanese fishing village that was at the center of a mercury poisoning scandal for decades. That's awesome. I never knew that. I mean, like, I knew Minamoto was a Japanese name, but that's pretty funny. And, well, I mean, I guess not funny. Tragic would be a better word for it. She's in the study, tidying up. Uh-huh. Mrs. Crabbe hired me to help her deal with the legal implications of the situation. We will determine who truly inherits this land, will or no. A brilliant fellow, highly knowledgeable and so sophisticated. There's a bench outside between the lodge and the gazebo. I'd like to go out there for a breath of fresh air. No one else seems to use it. It's a good place to be alone. Are you hiding something? I'm not surprised. Women like her often meet ignoble ends. What do you mean by that? I'm sure a nice girl like you wouldn't understand. Humph. Maybe the fact that I went through the study is the problem. Oh, okay, she's still here. Let's try going out the front door. Hmm. What is your plan? Nope, don't have a plan. I must have forgotten to lock my door. I'm busy, miss. Run along. Margot's death? A shame, certainly, but none of my business. I'm a very busy man, Miss Maple. I don't know where the woman is. Why don't you go and look for her? I have no idea what you were talking about, nor do I care to learn. Poirot, don't give me sass. Exactly. Miss Maple, I'm hard at work and require peace and quiet. Oh, I'll stay out of your way. Humph. I'd really like to know where this, Oh, hello. Evan's here. Evan is alternating between deeply inhaling the perfumed air of the boudoir and taking sips out of a glass in his hand. Mr. Richards, are you okay? I just want to be alone right now. Aw. She was my gal. Who would have thought she'd be gone before me? If you want to know more about Margot, I can't help you. I knew who she was when she was here. As for what came before, didn't concern me. I never asked. Oh, my pa would talk and talk about Skagway and the Klondike Gold Rush. He'd wish he'd picked gold instead of garnets sometimes. Guess my life would have been real different if he'd have gone even further north. And again, Crimson never got as rowdy as Skagway. Ha! I probably asked him about that before. What are you drinking? I like a drink or two before I head to bed. Relaxes me, especially these days with all this hubbub. Real piece of work, my sister. I bet she's glad this happened. Snobby. I'm not surprised Nessa likes him. He says the lodge is stuffy, so he sits out on the bench outside of the study for fresh air. I find him stuffy. Ha! The bench outside the study? It's bad for my back. No one sat there for years. But now that you mentioned it, I've seen Corvus out there. Boudoir. Key? Right, yep. We still haven't found the brooch. She was sick, I know. We didn't talk about it. It doesn't matter anymore. That's all I have to say about that. Arsenic? Ask Jack. I don't think we have any of that. No rats in Crimson. Why do you want arsenic anyway? Who are you going to poison? Ha! Yeah, so Margot said she hid the brooch in her walk-in closet, but didn't tell me where. Shoes are all size 5. My shoes are usually a half size smaller than my boots to leave room for thicker socks. You look under and around the fancy bench. Nothing is stuck into its underside, nor is anything secreted in the plush upholstery. This chest of drawers holds Margot's delicates. Negligees, brasiers. You stop looking through the drawers and close them, your face slightly flushed. You close the drawers. This chest of drawers holds Margot's blouses. There are 3 drawers and they all hold blouses. You close the drawers. Feather boas. Feathers look soft and colorful. Margot has one for every occasion, it seems. Yeah, I already looked at these earlier in the game. Not finding anything. Welp, maybe I'll find it later. what I'm really interested in is how the heck do I trigger the meeting in the gazebo? And also, what does this key go to? I wonder if I have to maybe check out the carriage house first, and then maybe go up from there to the gazebo. Maybe that'll do it. I thought I did that last time, but maybe I didn't. Vox Leona, hello! Welcome. It has been some time. Alright, well, let's check out the carriage house. And maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Isn't Nathan supposed to be here? Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Oops. Okay. Oops, looks like I stumbled onto a conversation. Maybe if I'd approached from a different direction. We'll talk later. We aren't alone anymore. What are you guys up to? Just getting some fresh air. Actually, wait. Wait. Okay, hold on. Wait. So I actually want to approach from the other way, which I did last time. Sip time. I got your sip time right here. Unfortunately, oh god. Yeah, CapCam is no longer available. How do I have a way of can I give you your points back? I don't know how to do that. I should take that. I should deactivate that particular redeem. Because unfortunately I no longer have a cat. But we are looking into adopting a new furry friend soon, hopefully. Yeah, people rarely redeem anything on my channel, so I wouldn't be surprised if people are just sitting on giant piles of points. I don't have any good redeems anyway. Okay, let's try this. Hide. Can't just toss these in the river like we used to, more's the pity. If Mr. Richards hadn't hurt his back trying to take this all on himself, I wish he'd asked for help before it came to that. With all the extra scrutiny lately, he can use all the help he can get. Lucky for us, it was mostly overcast last night. No moonlight, no sparkles. Lucky for us. I think that's all for now. Good thing there were no big ones tonight. Agreed. Meet you in the carriage house. Yeah, I'll dump these in the smokehouse as usual. See you soon. Hey, Jack. What were you guys up to? Me and Nat were just getting some fresh air. Really? I was getting samples from the riverbank this afternoon and it looked a lot like that. I found some interesting stuff. Oh yeah? Can I see? Of course. Oh yeah, I guess it was a different conversation earlier. Since I was talking to both of them, not just Jack. You show the samples you collected from the river to Jack. He scrutinizes them very closely. What do you think? You've got yourself some white garnets for sure, and some pretty nice ones too. White garnets? Are you sure? Definitely. But if you want a second opinion, I can take them to show Nathan and ask him for you. How about it? That's okay. I'll keep them for now. Suit yourself. Darn it, I missed talking to Nathan. I ought to find him and question him before he leaves. Jack has stopped whatever he was doing and is pretending to enjoy the fresh air. Jack, what are you looking for? I can help. Oh, never you mind. Rather late for you to be out, isn't it? It really looked like you and Nathan were looking for something on the riverbank. Well, Margot lost an earring here a while back. A pretty one. So sometimes when I've got time, I'll take a look. I see. I can't believe she's gone. What do you think happened to her? Jack shifts uncomfortably and seems reluctant to meet your gaze. I think we should let it be, Nancy. Evan is in a bad way right now. We should give him peace and not interfere. It's shocking. I can't believe it. Please don't meddle, Nancy. It'd only make things worse. I'm gonna meddle. I'm gonna meddle so much. Yeah, I think we already talked about this. I've never seen him like this before. Margot's death hit him hard. Best to leave him alone. Oops. If Nessa was a nicer person, I'd say the theft of her brooch was a real shame. Nathan's helping me get the automobile ready for a drive to the train station. He's probably in the carriage house by now. Mr. Richards wants a telegram sent to the Rangers. Highfalutin fellow. Ah, the wooden bench outside the study? Mr. Richards never sits on it. Too hard on his back. Me either, for that matter. Nor Nat. I've seen Corvus sitting there when he wants to be by himself. I don't know, Nancy. I'm no doctor. Mr. Richards is feeling pretty rough about Margot. Leave well enough alone, will ya? She was 100% poisoned. You have a good night, Miss Maple. Thanks, Jack. You too. Here we go. Okay. This is a good place to listen in. Ah, there you are. It's about time. Considering what this document will do for you, madam, I'd say it's well worth the wait. This will make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Never you mind what it'll do for me. I still have some work to do to make this all pay off. Even though this report says there are diamonds in Crimson, I need to make sure that the land comes to me. Otherwise, this field report of yours is useless. Well, that's your problem. My role in this is finished. That woman, Kimi, I think she's hiding something, and I'm going to find out what. Is that so? Well, she's either lurking in the woods or in the bedroom she shares with nosy Nancy. Kimi seems like a bird-crazy bore to me, but that's your business. Nessa hands Albert another envelope, this one thicker than the last. There, that's all the money. This report better pass muster with the government. It will, I assure you. Good night, madam. Humph. Good night. Okay. Fun. Albert is suspicious of Kimi. Honestly, I am too. Nessa paid Albert for a report stating there were diamonds in Crimson. Which is interesting because Evan, I think, earlier in the game was trying to bribe Albert for a report stating the exact opposite. Okay. So now I think I should be able to... Okay, Corvus is still there. Nessa might now be going to her meeting... Nope, I guess not. Oh! Well, there's Kimi, I think. Kimi, what are you doing, you weirdo? She's lurking in the woods. Kimi is half concealed behind a tree. She appears to be waiting and watching for something. Kimi? Eek! Oh dear, sorry to startle you. Why are you lurking, Kimi? Lurking? I was looking for owls. Uh-huh. I thought I might be able to see great horned owls or even short-eared owls because it's still summer. Or great gray owls. They're the largest in Ontario. I can't believe Margot's dead. What could have happened? It's terrible. Nancy, I'm getting scared. Don't worry, Kimi. I'm sure there's an explanation. I'd sure like to find out. I had no idea Margot was so sick. This is horrible. I feel so bad for Evan. He seemed to care for her very much. I feel so bad for Mr. Richards. It's such a horrible thing that's happened. I am out here looking for owls, but it's also a bit of a relief to get out of the lodge and give Mr. Richards some space. Hey, Mr. Gel. He knows so much about this region. Mr. Respa seems to have something against me. I have no idea what, but I've been trying to avoid him. Oh, I've actually seen Nessa walking around outside. She looked impatient. He's not that friendly. There's a bench outside the study. I thought it might be a good place to watch birds. I wanted to sit there, but Corvus was there. Another time I did sit there, but I got the most terrible splinter. I understand why I've never seen anyone else using it. Oh, Nancy, poison? I don't know anything about that. Did Jack pass by here recently? Actually, he did. Jack was mumbling to himself and clinking something in his pocket. He walked east and I heard a door opening. I think he went to the smokehouse. Not long after he walked back this way, but I didn't hear him clinking anything then. Oh my god! Decaf Jedi, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Hello, hello. Splinter and buttocks. Fun visit to the ER. Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, I think we already figured out that the stones that Jack is picking up from the riverbank are being hidden in the salt. We are being invaded. Oh my god, so many raiders. Hello. Okay, right. There's the jar thing. Okay, so at some point, Nessa's going to come by here somewhere. And... Okay. So I think we got to go talk to Nathan first. Is he still... Yes, good. Okay. I think I'm doing these things in the right order. Ish, maybe. Ah, here's Nat. Nathan is inspecting and adjusting the headlamp on the automobile. Good evening, Nathan. Ah, I thought maybe you were Evan. Sometimes he likes to walk the grounds when he's troubled. I wonder where he is now. I've never seen him like this. Please look out for him. Margot's death is shocking. She was a kind woman. It's a sad state of affairs. I've known Evan a long time. I've never seen him like this. He needs to grieve. Jack's driving to the train station to send a telegram about Margot. This is ranger business. Jack should be along shortly. He may be in the bedroom he's sharing with Corvus, getting ready. He's driving to the train station to send a telegram about Margot's death. I'm just getting the automobile ready for him. I saw him sitting on the bench outside. That bench has been there for many years. It was nice at first, but hasn't been taken care of. It's splintery and warped and not a pleasant place to sit. Corvus seems to be the only one who enjoys sitting there. Because he's already got to stick up his ass. What's a few more splinters? That bench has been there for as long as I can remember. It's not very comfortable. I've seen Corvus sitting there from time to time since he's arrived. It's nice to see the bench getting some use. I think I saw her walking around just north of here. She had no love for Margot, but even still, she's being pretty insensitive. Evan is her brother, after all, and he's just suffered a terrible loss. Margot had her health issues, but never seizures. I'm a little suspicious that her death wasn't natural. But Evan wants to forget all about it. Nothing can be done for her now. I'd let him be if I were you. Arsenic? Do you have a rat problem? Jack might have some. My father told me that Richard Sr. promised this land would be returned to my family, but wasn't clear on when. I happen to know that Richard Sr. didn't have a will, but Evan does. I've said too much already. It is a complicated matter. We already asked about that stuff. Evan gave me his father's automobile when it started needing constant maintenance. It had become a hassle for him to call on me to fix it at the lodge, so he said I could have it. It worked out for both of us. I got to own an automobile, which is a rarity up here, and Evan made room in his carriage house for a new one. Boop! And here comes Jack. Oh, Nancy, I wasn't expecting to see you here. Good thing rat poison nowadays is no longer arsenic. Yeah. What is it? Now I'm curious. Excuse me. I'm going to look for Evan. I can tell he's upset, but you know how he is. Always going off on his own, yeah. Maybe try the jetty? Thanks, I'll check there. I have a few other places in mind first. My meeting with Albert in the boathouse begins shortly. I will look for Evan after that. Good luck. I really wish I knew what he was talking to Evan about, Albert about. But I couldn't think of a way to listen in on them. Pardon me, Miss Maple. I'm expected elsewhere. Have a good night, Nancy. Good night, Nathan. I wonder where Nathan's off to. Okay, right. And there's Nessa. Nessa and Corvus seem to be having an intense conversation. If I can get closer, maybe I'll be able to hear what they're saying. You conceal yourself behind an ideally situated apple tree. I won't be eating this anymore. Nessa takes a silver flask from her pocket and pours it out onto the grass. What's that? Water adulterated with poison. I soaked flypaper in a glass jar and poured the liquid into my silver flask. Tossed the jars over the waterfall. Easy as pie. I didn't think it'd be quite so effective. I was thinking it'd be more gradual, less dramatic. The tart couldn't even die properly, but no matter. It could look suspicious and be investigated. What does it matter? There aren't any rangers around or any other form of law in this godforsaken place. But we don't want any more complications. This will all be over soon, but we'll need to be bold. I'm ready for the next step. Good. What a strange conversation. Nessa mentioned tossing some jars into the river by the waterfall. I should go to the waterfall and take a look. I will eventually. First, though. Okay. Hello, Nathan. It's such a nice night, isn't it? Ah, Nancy, if you don't mind, I prefer to be by myself right now. Certainly. So, what's it like being by yourself? Yes, very nice. Excuse me, Miss Maple, I'm meeting someone in there. Oh, excuse me. You don't hear any voices behind the boathouse door, even with the aid of the drinking glass. The river is too loud to hear anything, even though I know Nathan and Albert are in there having a conversation. Hmm. Yeah, I suspect there's just no way to listen to that one. Okay. You see something bobbing in the rushing water caught amongst some rocks. I think it looks like a glass jar. There's a glass jar bobbing in the furiously churning water. You can just barely make out a flash of yellow inside the jar. Tie rope to self. I'm not walking around with this rope tied around me. You take the glass jar. Huzzah. Unfortunately, I can't get the rope again. In your enthusiasm to secure the rope to the tree, you created a series of utterly undoable knots. That's okay. The rope has done its part. Bungee jump down the waterfall. No. You no longer need the rope. No more rope for me. Sadness. Oh, right. Forgot to look at the jar. The jar you retrieved from the raging river. Inside is a damp strip of flypaper. This looks like one of Jack's jam jars. Closer inspection reveals a white powder residue at the bottom of the jar, a strip of damp flypaper inside the jar, and a small oily spot on the outside of the jar. Brush some soot, fingerprint. Oh, I'm already carrying the jam jar that has the fingerprint on it. There's no need to lift it from the jam. Okay. Oh, but compare print. Aha! The fingerprint on the glass jar belongs to Nessa. Yes, flypaper. There's some strange puddles of liquid glistening in the moonlight. The trail of small puddles seems to lead further south. The puddles of whiskey are staggered at irregular intervals both on and off the path, almost as if whoever was responsible for them was also staggering. This doesn't bode well. Actually, let's start, Right, there appears to be puddles of liquid leading towards or away from the dining room doors to the north. Most of the spilled liquid you see here has been absorbed by the grass, but you can still smell it. This is definitely alcohol. It's unmistakably Canadian whiskey. What could have caused this? Or who? Oh yes, well, flypaper used to contain arsenic. Nessa said that earlier. She basically outright stated her method of killing Margot. Ah, Mr. Richards, there you are. Mr. Richards? Evan doesn't acknowledge your presence. He looks lost in thought or maybe highly inebriated. Possibly both. There's some sort of liquid splashed onto the jetty. I wonder what this could be. The liquid here has yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even in the moonlight, you can see that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. What a waste. The liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol and not river water. Besides the spilled alcohol, the jetty is dry. Evan is quietly, morosely drunk and sits precariously on the edge of the jetty. Oh, did they? Okay. I didn't realize that has been done before in real life, although I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. Mr. Richards, what are you doing here? Mr. Richards ignores you and continues drinking. Those people are why we can't have nice things, yeah. You know, some people just can't hold their arsenic. Evan doesn't respond to your attempts at conversation. I wonder... This is a terrible idea. Ooh, I better be careful not to stray too close to the edge of the jetty. Okay, I didn't think so. Whee! He doesn't try to save me or anything. Welp. What was that? Big fish. Okay, that's funny. Oh yeah, because people used to like dissolve bodies in lye, didn't they? Okay, I don't... Mortality Wednesday. Probably can't do much with Evan at the moment. Evan doesn't appear to be receptive to anything you'd want to tell him. I hear a rumbling in the distance. Is that thunder? Ah, it sounds like an automobile heading towards the carriage house. Is Jack back from the train station? Maybe I should head over there and see what's going on. Or I could head to the lodge and see what's going on there. Right, city fingerprint. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah. Right. And then we get into Fight Club territory. Ooh. What I should do, actually. I meant to do this. Since I'm playing an EGA game, I feel like this is a good time to show off what my partner got me for Christmas. And this is one of the things he got me, which is a box copy of the OG Heroes Quest, now known as Quest for Glory. But this is like the raddest box art in the world, I think. Yeah. Also, not just that one, but the second one as well. Both EGA Quest for Glory games, physical copies. Not that I can play them since I don't have like disk drives anymore, but it's a pretty sweet gift anyway. Just, you know, because he knows how much I love these games. And I used to have a full, like, complete in-box copy of this game when I was a kid. My parents got rid of it. I don't think I ever had a complete copy of Quest for Glory 2, but I definitely had a copy of this. Let me show you also. Here's the manual. Wait, yeah, game manual. Yeah, other human might just be a keeper. Yes. The people, yeah. Here's the other thing. Also, this one has it has both the what are these? I forget what. 5 yeah, 5 1/4. Thank you. I know, like there's like 3.5, and then like wait, what was the other one? the bigger discs and the smaller discs. Wow, there's a lot of these.
It's hard to stack in there.
Yeah. What is this?
I think it's Prodigy.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. It also, yeah, comes with free Prodigy, which I did. I was on Prodigy back in the day, to tell you how old I am. Right, we got the technical manual, less interesting but still cool. And then here's a thing that I never had, which is the official hint book. And it has like notes from like the previous owner on it, which I think is adorable. But yeah, I don't think I ever had this as a kid. And it has like, like the has the red like coded nonsense and the little viewing thing that you use to decode it. Prodigy was an online service. How would I describe it? It was basically like early internet. A lot of like bulletin boards and like just kind of special interest stuff. Like there were games. Just like a very like. Yeah, I don't really know how to properly describe what it was, but like think like a mini version of the internet, kinda. Yeah. Basically, bulletin board system. Yeah, but it was more than just that. It's hard to like get all this stuff into the box properly.
I can know.
Doesn't really fit. Huh?
I can know if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Here, I'll let you do it.
Okay. Came up with a good system.
Yeah. And then I gotta show off what's in this one too. Had an internet portal eventually. Oh, yeah. Oh, so the probably one of the coolest things on Prodigy was this massive game called Mad Maze. Thank you. I was about to mention that, which you can now play in a browser, and that's the thing that I've been wanting to do for a while. Actually, I want to actually stream a playthrough of Mad Maze, which is going to take forever. My brother and I played it a bunch as a kid. And I think my brother actually completed it. I never did myself. I was a little bit too young at the time. But that is the thing I want to try doing at some point, is actually streaming Mad Maze. The problem that I ran into when I tried before was that like when you play it, every time you go to a new room, it opens a new browser window, so that would be like a nightmare to stream. But I haven't checked it out in a while. Maybe it's better now. I don't know. But that's a thing that's a thought that's been percolating in my mind for a while. Anyway, here's Quest for Glory 2's game discs. These are all just 3x3.5 ones, and they come in these cool little like plastic packages, which is neat. And then the manual. And the technical manual. Such cool art on these things. But speaking of art, the real, if I can get it out of the damn box, best part of Quest for Glory 2, physical copy of this thing, which is the map. It's hard to get on camera. It big. The relevant part is this part down here, which is the map of the city streets of Shapir. But then there's this sweet art at the top. My partner and I were talking about framing it and like putting it on the wall behind my streaming station, which I think is a great idea. Yeah. This is really special to me because when I was a kid and I had my copy of Quest for Glory 2, I didn't have this full map. I only had this bottom section. I guess someone had like cut it apart. I don't know how my family came into possession of Quest for Glory 2, but yeah, I never had this art. I just had this part. So this is really cool. This is like my favorite thing in this box. Yay! So yeah, it's all just like collector stuff because I've never actually been able to play this copy of the game, but it's cool. I have it, and that's neat. Thank you. Mwah.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you
I
too.
got a cramp in my leg.
Oh no. Yeah, damaging a priceless collectible. Belongs in a museum. Alright. This box is a little easier to close. Alright. That is enough of that. That's right, yeah. Yeah, like Prodigy was just kind of like a universal, like you can do everything on this platform kind of thing. I think the main thing that I was interested in at the time was like the games. There was a daily. I remember there was a daily Carmen Sandiego game on Prodigy that I would play a lot, and there were like interactive books you could read. There was like a Secret Garden book, and then there was this like ongoing. I guess I would call it a serial. Serial, called By the Sword. I wonder if there's a complete version of that anywhere, because I think it was one of those things where like kind of episodes or like installations came out for that every so often. Oh man, now that I'm thinking of that, like I want to look that up. I want to see if that exists anywhere online now. Yeah, same Blacktails. Like, it's so weird to me now to actually have physical copies of like big box copies of games, because it's like, why bother? I can't play them, but they're cool. It's true. It's a whole collector's thing. Yeah, just having them is neat. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I never thought of that. Like, I was young. I was a kid at the time. I didn't even think of like the fact that like there might have been admins on the message boards and stuff. Yeah, like email was a thing. And like I guess, did they charge for email? Yeah, Prodigy was my very first email address was in Prodigy. Yeah, early days internet. Still on a floppy drive and CD drive. Yeah, I don't even have a CD drive anymore. I used to until recently. Like the computer tower I have now no longer has a CD drive in it, so I can't like play any physical games, which is hilarious. We do have a computer with a CD drive in it, and like and I know you can get like USB. You can get USB floppy drives and CD drives and stuff, so it is possible. But you got kind of like a it's a little bit more of a faff, as they say, to do that now. You could not play Quake. Yeah, man, Mad Maze rules. Thank you for like filling me in on stuff I forgot about Prodigy Galara Dragon. This is all like from way back in the day, and I remember very little of it, especially of like like the technical details, because that was not what I was interested in back then. But I have many fond memories of dicking around in Prodigy. Anyway, I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Yeah, I figured it was a good time to gush about EGA games while I'm playing an EGA game. Yeah. It's really cool. Like it's really cool like seeing people like really delve into it and finding out things that I never knew about it, despite having been a user of it. You know what else I love? The Imagination Network, which is the thing that Sierra came up with. And that you can still kind of find bits of that floating around the internet these days. Like Shadow of Eusebius is still like fully playable. I actually streamed it a while back. Man, that's a heck of a game. I know Decaf Jedi I think has done a lot of content around INN. Yeah! Yeah, like back in the day, it was either AOL or Prodigy, and I was like proud of being on Prodigy and not AOL. Oh yeah, and CompuServe, yes, that was the thing too. I think I was on CompuServe. I don't remember that nearly as much though, nearly as well. I can't know why you're really here. Who knows what could happen? Right, $, serve. Yep. Of course. I understand the potential risk involved. I will be discreet with my investigation. We'll just say you were in the area and that's how you got here so soon, not that you were already on your way. Understood. The young lady, Margot. Yes, Margot. Is there any reason to believe her death was suspicious? She's always been a bit sickly. Don't bother yourself with that. Just make like you're looking into her death. That'll be a good cover, but focus on what you're really here for. Okay, Jack. What is that about? Genie. Oh, interesting. Who is it? 'Tis I. Oh, hello, Nancy. This here's Ranger Murdoch. Lucky for us, he was in the region. How do you do, miss? Oh, pleased to meet you. We're all going to meet up in the dining room. Come along when you can. Will do. Come to think of it, I'm going to have a cup of tea in the kitchen before heading to the dining room. It was a thirsty ride back. Good evening. Please meet us in the dining room. Yes, sir. Oh, right, and then, last session I also, I think I walked in on, like, Albert yelling at Kimi for some reason. Is Evan still here? Yes, he is. Okay. Alright, well, I'm a little more happy about what I've found, rather than... because I didn't miss the gazebo conversation this time. And I also found Kimi lurking in the woods, so that's good. What have we here? You haven't fooled me with your timid act. I'm on to you. If you dare follow me once I'm done here, you won't make it to your next destination. Consider yourself warned. What is going on around here? Albert just yelled at me. Kimi is holding a large map. She looks a bit flustered. He seemed very upset about my map. I was just planning my next birding trip. Well, if this map upsets him so much, I'll just get rid of it. Kimi tosses the map into the fireplace and sets it alight. Excuse me, Nancy, I'm going to the bathroom to calm down a bit. I just want to be alone, okay? No! Oops, not that map. The map is on fire. High-speed internet for 97, nice. Right, that's what I did before. I got water from here. Dump the water out of the drinking glass. Map is slightly charred and damp, but it's still mostly intact. There's a circled location on the map. It's the Sioux Locks. Why would Albert be upset by a map with the Sioux Locks circled? Great question. I have no idea. Hello, Corvus. Ah, Miss Maple, please, isn't it past your bedtime? I have a lot of work still to do tonight. Please go away. Do you know what the Sulaks? No? Okay. Well, if you must know, Miss Crab was looking for something in the study. And before you ask, no, it is none of your business. Ah. Oh, heck yeah, CD burner. Those were like such a big deal back in the day. It was great. Leave me alone, whoever it is. I am busy. It's very late and I'm tired. I have no patience for you right now. I'm sure Mr. Respi's report will be highly favorable for me, and that I'll be returning to the city as a very rich woman. Oh, what makes you say that? Humph, that's none of your business. Please, I just want some peace and quiet. I really hope I get to see them. It's one of the greatest public works projects of the past century. Kimi, why are you trying to burn this map in the fireplace? Albert walked in, saw me looking at my map, and got extremely upset. I have no idea why. I told him if the map makes him so angry, I'd get rid of it. What is wrong with everyone? As much as I love the Cormorants, I can't stand to stay here much longer. Why do you have a map with Sulaks circled in red? I've been planning to visit the Sulaks for ages. We discussed that on the automobile ride from the train station to the lodge. The Sulaks are a civil engineering marvel. They're the linchpin of the Great Lakes. Ah, that's right. I do remember. Hey, Chibi fan. Yes, we are playing a text-based text parser game made within the last few years. Ah, such a thing of beauty. Yeah, I mean, I would assume yes, while she's on the loo or in the bath or in the bathtub or something, in the shower. Yes, an ancient game from last year. Yeah, this was a day one purchase for me. I don't often do day one purchases, but this was a day one purchase. EGA for life. Julia is such a good EGA artist, such a good pixel artist. I'm like, this game is gorgeous. Oh dang. Ooh, Dracula text-based game. Ooh. I'm intrigued now. Oh wait, okay, dining room. Okay, dining room is the next one up. That's the bar. That's storage room. Oh right, this is the billiards room, or the game room rather. Study. Ooh, maybe I can look around in here now that Ness is out. The contents of the desk have been strewn all over the carpeted floor. At a glance, the papers are old guest receipts from the lodge's glory days, as well as some general bookkeeping. Nessa has inconsiderately stepped on some of the papers, too. What a mess. Ooh, that means I gotta get a shoe print. Nessa stepping on the documents scattered over the lush carpet has created very clear imprints of her shoes. This shoe print looks like a woman's shoe with a bit of heel. It could only be from Kimi's or Nessa's shoe. If I can figure out either Kimi or Nessa's shoe size, I can find out whose shoe this belonged to. I mean, it's obviously Nessa's. Upon closer inspection, you think you can barely discern a couple of oily spots on one of the papers. Though you're reluctant to soil the papers with soot, you decide the situation merits it. After carefully applying a bit of soot, you find... I found a couple of distinct fingerprints. Aha, you've uncovered a couple of fingerprints on one of the papers. You're a mineralogist, not a forensic accountant. Upon closer inspection and comparing with the set of fingerprints you've collected, you conclude one of these fingerprints that I lifted from the documents in the study belongs to Mr. Richards, which is as it should be. But the other fingerprint belongs to Nessa, which isn't surprising considering how she was pawing through these papers earlier. But I'm glad I now have solid evidence of this. Oh, she cross-stitches too. Yeah, I had a chance. I missed my chance. But I went to Adventure X 2 years ago, and I saw her there. But I did not get the chance to speak with her. But I was there. I was in her presence. Right, yes. Clones, Time Turner. Yeah. I don't see why not. Hello, Jack. Hi, Nancy. There's a meeting in the dining room. Go on in. Everyone's gathered in the dining room to have a discussion with Ranger Murdoch. Go on in. I'll join you. That looks like a map of Northern Ontario, all right. Did you drop this in the toilet or something? Yuck. No, that's not what happened. It's clean water from the tap. I did that because it was on fire. Okay, Nancy. Oh, wait, sorry, what was that? Nat's in the conservatory right now. He should be joining us in the dining room soon. Ranger Murdoch wants to have a chat with all of us. Ranger Murdoch's in the dining room, gathering everyone in the lodge for a meeting. Go on in. Don't keep him waiting. Good evening, Nathan. Good evening, Nancy. Jack poked his head in here to tell me he's back and that the automobile managed to stay in one piece for his journey. He also said that a ranger's come to the lodge and that this ranger wants to have a meeting in the dining room. Perhaps you should head there. Okay, thanks. Jack's back from the train station. He's in the kitchen having a cup of tea. Right. We talked about the rangers already. This looks a bit singed, and why is it damp? What happened? Well, this is Kimi's map. She threw it into the fireplace and tried to burn it. Why'd you do that? Albert confronted her about something. She got upset and seemed to think it was about this map. So you poured water over it to save it. Yes. I see. Greg Kostikian wrote a 26th installment science fiction story called By the Sword for Prodigy. Oh. Cool. So I guess there is a copy of it out somewhere. That's awesome. Yeah, the name rings a bell, but I can't think of what games he's designed. Okay, meeting time. You settle into a chair around the dining table. Ah, Nancy, there you are. We're about to get started. Where's Mr. Richards? Don't you worry, miss. Mr. Richards needs time to be alone with his thoughts. He'll probably be here in a bit. This here's Ranger Murdoch. He was out on patrol at the train station, lucky for us. So we've got 3 empty seats. Evan, Margot, and I guess Nathan. Interesting. Alright. I told him about poor Margot. He said he wouldn't mind stopping by and filing a report. A report? Whatever for? She had a fit and died. Bury her and be done with her. It gives me the creeps having a dead body around. I'm sure nothing's amiss, but how could I turn down Jack's hospitality? I'll take a look, file a Oh yeah, no, Kimi is here, okay. I'll take a look, file a report of the death, and save old Doc Travers the trip up here. What about the bridge explosion? Do you have any news about that? Bridge explosion? News doesn't travel very fast in these parts. I'm out in the bush most of the time. Of course! I was so distracted by Margot's death that I completely forgot to mention the bridge to Ranger Murdoch. Anyway, I sent a telegraph to the closest town. I'm sure the appropriate authorities are handling it. I'm sure. Bears and raccoons are more my jurisdiction. Not much happens out this way. Tomorrow morning I'll take a look at Miss Margot and be on my way. Sounds good. My, it's late. You must be bushed. I'll get you set up in the spare room upstairs. Are we done here? I'm dreadfully tired. I am tired as well. Nessa and Corvus leave the table after exchanging what seems to be a series of impatient looks. Kimi follows soon after, seemingly unwilling to appear rude by leaving first. By the time Jack shows the ranger to the spare room, you realize a lot of time has passed and Mr. Richards still hasn't turned up. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. I should check up on Mr. Richards. Ooh, excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. Oh no, where's Mr. Richards? Yeah. Escalations. You are shocked to see such disarray. I don't like the look of this. Review. That was the... I was trying to remember that, like, all through last chapter. Like, what was the word I was supposed to type to check my investigation status? I know that Mr. Richards wears rubber-soled shoes. Maybe I should examine the jetty and see if that will reveal anything about his movements. I now know Mr. Richards' shoe size. Can I use it to trace his movements at the jetty? I should take a closer look. I did see Mr. Richards on the jetty. I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I'll need everyone's shoe sizes before I can figure that out. Oh boy. Well, fortunately, I was really snoopy early in the game and found a bunch of shoe sizes, like, right off the bat. So that's good, but I'm probably missing some. Jambalaya, ooh. I've never had jambalaya, nor have I cooked it. Nicely done. I'm impressed. The most complicated thing you've ever cooked. I can imagine. There appears to have been an altercation here. There are scuff marks of what might be a shoe print on the jetty. You can see puddles of liquid, an overturned drinking glass, and what looks to be the crystal decanter, broken into jagged shards. Oh dear. The jetty looks like a good place for fishing. You can see scuff marks, shoe prints. There are also splashes of spilled liquid. There's broken glass scattered across the jetty. Some of it looks like it may have once been the crystal decanter. Some may have come from a drinking glass. Mr. Richards wears a size 12. This shoe print looks larger, but I should examine it more closely to verify. Upon closer inspection, you ascertain the shoe print came from a size 14 foot. Interesting. Mr. Richards wears size 12. He definitely didn't make shoe prints on or around the jetty. The shoe prints on the jetty came from size 14 feet. Jack's are size 12 feet. I know Jack didn't make these shoe prints, but who did? I know Nessa wears a size 8, but I need to rule out all the other guests before I can make a definitive conclusion. Where have I seen Kimi walking around outside? Could she have left some shoe prints on moist ground? Corvus wears size 14. He could be involved. But I can't say for certain until I learn everyone else's shoe sizes. Albert and Mr. Richards had the same shoe size. Neither of them could have made any of these shoe prints. Nathan could have made those shoe prints. I certainly can't rule him out. Have I seen Nathan walking in an area where he could have left shoe prints? I think so, and not too long ago. Ooh, okay. Size check. The scuff marks indicate that someone might have been dragged along the wooden boards at the jetty. These scuffs are pretty clear. Hopefully a closer examination will reveal more information. Yeah, only like one complicated dish per week, I'd say. The direction of the scuff marks appear to lead away from the jetty and into the woods to the north. And these scuff marks were made by rubber-soled shoes. Hmm. Mr. Richards wore rubber-soled shoes and boots. These scuffs were likely made by him. He definitely didn't jump or fall into this fierce current. Good. It's more likely that Mr. Richards was dragged away from the river. Okay. You see an overturned drinking glass on the jetty. I wonder what could have caused this. The glass has been knocked over, its contents spilled out onto the jetty. Ah, what a waste of good Canadian whiskey. You think you can see an oily mark on the outside of the overturned whiskey glass. That could be a fingerprint. You carefully dust the overturned drinking glass for prints and reveal a fingerprint. Evan's fingerprint. That makes sense. I did see Mr. Richards drinking out of this glass earlier. No, not the glass jar. You see fragments of faceted glass scattered on the wooden jetty. Yikes! Whatever happened here, it doesn't look like it was a serene encounter. You peer at the shattered remains of what is clearly the crystal decanter from the dining room. I last saw this in Mr. Richards' hands as he was seated right here on this jetty. What on earth happened here? Oh my, the decanter would have needed to be picked up and thrown down with some force to break it like this. The heavy crystal decanter has been broken into dozens of jagged shards. I think I see some oily imprints. I wonder who's been handling this decanter recently. Besides Mr. Richards, that is, because I doubt he would have broken the decanter intentionally. I bet someone conked him over the head with it. Two fingerprints. Okay. Wonder one of these fingerprints belongs to Evan. The other is Nessa's. Well, if Corvus is a size 14, it was probably Corvus and Nessa. Okay. Okay, Richard size, we're at size 12. Jack size 12. Nessa size 8. I need Kimi. And Nathan. Yeah. Uh-oh. You see some possible signs of a struggle. There are scuffs and shoe prints on the grass and on the path, and some tree branches have been snapped off. Ooh, what's that thing in the tree? On the southern and eastern portions of the path, you can see some scrapes and shoe prints in the grass. You see some footprints to the east and to the south. I should take a closer look. You can see a smattering of shoe prints here that appear to come from two different size shoes. Most of these look like they came from a size 14 foot, but there are a few here that look to be size 8. Scuffs and scrapes on the path appear to have originated from the jetty to the south. Upon closer examination of the scuffs on the southern path, you conclude that someone was dragged from the jetty and into this area. And it was a bit of a struggle by the looks of it. I found scuff marks made by rubber-soled shoes on the jetty. Mr. Richards only wears rubber-soled shoes and boots and was last seen here. I think it's fair to assume he made those scuff marks. And the scuff marks found here look like they were also made by Mr. Richards making the same struggling movements. It seems pretty clear that Mr. Richards was dragged from the jetty and into these woods. The more you look at the scene, the more convinced you become that whatever happened at the jetty continued in this part of the woods. Freshly broken. Okay, you can see scuffs and shoe prints on the grass and on the path to the south and east. You can also see some freshly broken branches. Tree branches stick out like arms, ready to cling and scratch at unwary passers-by. Luckily, the paths are kept pretty clear of any obstructions. Some of the branches off to the side of the path look like they've been bent and broken. These tree branches look like they were broken recently. You can clearly see some long brown and gray hairs caught in the tree branches. Long brown and gray hairs. These look familiar. You take some of the long brown and gray hairs. These might be useful bits of evidence. These long gray and brown hairs still have their follicles, indicating they were removed with some force. Ow! I found these caught on some broken branches. It looked like there was a struggle in the woods. Only Nessa has hair like this. Hello? Signs of a struggle continue in the area around the smokehouse. The scuff marks and shoe prints continue along the path and into the smokehouse. The door to the smokehouse is shut tight, but you can hear some indistinct noises inside. Eek! What's that on the ground? Why is my autosave off? It needs to be on. There's scuffs and shoe prints on the path leading to the smokehouse. Sparkles on the path. Something round and metallic shining on the path. It looks like a button. A shiny metal button is lying on the path. You pick up the round metal button. The metal button looks pretty new. The metal button is shiny and appears to be pretty new. Aha! So this button belongs to Corvus. Does it? How do I know that? I need to examine the scuff by the smokehouse more closely. Maybe that will reveal something. The scuff marks on the dirt path leading to the smokehouse. The scuff marks leading to the smokehouse. Uh-oh. Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. Before I go in there, Nathan and Jack have left shoe prints all along the riverbank. Oops. No, not the fingerprints. Even in the moonlight, it is easy for you to see the imprints Nathan and Jack made with their shoes. The shoe prints on this side of the bridge are quite large and freshly made. Considering I witnessed Nathan making these shoe prints, I can conclude he wears size 16. You got big feet. He's a big dude. Jack was walking quite extensively on this part of the riverbank. These shoe prints are size 12. And I know that Kimi was over here. Maybe. Oh yeah, here we go. In Kimi's excitement, she strayed quite close to the riverbank, leaving behind a set of shoe prints in the softened earth. You can clearly see the shoe prints Kimi left behind when she strayed close to the river while looking for ducks. Whew, I'm glad she didn't slip on those rocks. That would have felt terrible. Upon closer inspection of Kimi's shoe prints, you conclude that she wears a size 6 or 6.5. Ah! Now that I know Kimi's shoe size, the women's shoe print I saw in the study must belong to Nessa. So Nessa wears a size 8. Got it. I should take a closer look at the scene at the smokehouse. Kimi has the same size feet as me. I am a 6.5. Tiny, tiny feet. No, I keep doing that. There are some shoe prints on the dirt path leading to the smokehouse. These shoe prints look larger than size 12, which is what Mr. Richards wears, but I should take a closer look. You have tiny man feet at a size 9. Nice. These shoe prints came from size 14 and size 8 shoes. It appears that someone wearing size 14 shoes made these shoe prints. Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. Fantastic! I've gotten everyone's shoe sizes. Corvus wears size 14. He was involved in the altercation at the jetty. Nessa's and Corvus's shoe prints were found leading away from the jetty. Not to mention their shoe prints are all around the smokehouse. According to what I've deduced, Nessa and Corvus attacked Mr. Richards at the jetty and dragged him into the smokehouse. Their shoe prints are all over the jetty and leading to the smokehouse. The scuff marks I found came from rubber-soled shoes of the kind that Mr. Richards wears. No one else at the lodge wears shoes or boots with rubber soles. One of Corvus's vest buttons somehow ended up near the smokehouse, too. Some of Nessa's hair was caught in a tree between the jetty and the smokehouse. That's definitely unusual. Nessa and Corvus were discussing something about a will, but whose? Oh, but I remember overhearing a conversation between them about looking for Evans and Nessa's father's will. But I know that their father didn't leave behind a will. Uh-oh. Could Nessa and Corvus be writing their own will and trying to force Evan to sign it? But how would that be of any help to them unless... Uh-oh. I've investigated all that I can. It's time to go inside the smokehouse and see what's happened in there. Okay. Oh, right, Margot's a size 5.5. Even smaller. Got all shoe sizes. Hooray. All right. I really don't like the look of this. You don't hear any voices. The person inside the smokehouse is either ignoring your knocking or is too preoccupied to hear it. Surprised it isn't locked. I'm going to save first. Oh. Nathan, I have a theory about what's happened to Evan. What's Nathan doing in here? I'm listening. There's shoe prints all over the jetty leading into the smokehouse. Yes, I saw those, but I have no idea who those could belong to. I do. I did a bit of detective work and learned the shoe sizes of everyone in the lodge. You did? I certainly did. And according to my findings, I've concluded that Nessa and Corvus dragged Mr. Richards off the jetty and into the smokehouse. That makes a lot of sense to me, Nancy, but where is he now? That's what we need to find out. You're absolutely right about that. Please let me take a look at here and see what I can find. You've done very well, Nancy. Maybe you can figure out where Evan is now. So far, I come up empty-handed. Thanks, Nathan. I'll try not to let you down. If you find anything of significance, let me know as soon as possible. Will do. Oh, one more thing. Yes, Nancy? Nessa seems to be desperately looking for something. I'm not sure what. She's made a mess of the study. There are papers all over. I think it has something to do with a will. I heard them talking about it in the parlor last night. A will? Come to think of it, they were discussing Evans and Ness's father's will. That was after dinner yesterday. Mr. Richards Sr. didn't leave a will, I know that, which means Nessa and Corvus aren't trying to get him to reveal its location. I think they want even more than that. What if Nessa and Corvus intend on creating a new will, but it's Evans? To ensure Nessa will inherit the lodge and land after he dies. I need to go talk to Jack about all of this. Meet us in the study when you're finished here. You can tell us all about this ersatz will and the mineralogical report then. Good luck, Nancy. Good luck to you, too. Okay, what have we here? I didn't even know Nathan was in here. The smokehouse is in disarray. Debris covers the table and floor, and there might even be something on the wall. Eek! What happened here? Colorful shards and debris cover the table. Oops. Glittery specks, yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse. Do I also see some crumbs? You can just barely make out a symbol low on the wall and under the table. What could that be? There are jagged fragments of Jordan almonds scattered all over the table. Oh no. Why in the world would Jordan almonds be in the smokehouse? Oh no. Evan has a nut allergy. You remove some of the Jordan almond fragments from the table, taking great care not to pierce your skin on the jagged pieces. Next to your loop, you can clearly see that the yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse are from hempen rope. The fibers have broken off into small twisted strands, possibly caused by friction. What or who could have done this? Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Uh-oh. You can also clearly see cookie crumbs on the floor. These look like crumbs from the cookies that Jack was baking earlier. I even see bits of jam. You decide the frayed rope fibers aren't worth taking. While the crumbs seem relevant to your investigation, you don't want them in your pocket. There's a symbol marked in something sticky and red on the smokehouse wall. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled in with the red substance. Blood or raspberry jam? Uh-oh. I wonder what the symbol is painted with. It's definitely not paint. It's sticky, drippy red, and a bit chunky. Eek. Seriously questioning your own judgment, you crane your neck towards the wall and stick out your tongue. You gingerly touch the tip of your tongue to the smokehouse wall. I was gonna, use my finger, maybe. Don't, lick the actual wall. That's gross. Oh, tastes like raspberry jam. Knew it. Can I... It's up to me to figure out what's happened in here. Can I link anyone to what's gone on inside the smokehouse? What are all these fragments on the table? Yeah, where's my Space Quest 4 tongue icon? These jagged fragments of Jordan almonds they found at the smokehouse are wickedly sharp. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see conchoidal fractures in the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. When I leave, there's no telling who could come here and tamper with the scene inside. I don't think I'm quite done with my investigation here. I should examine the inside of the smokehouse more closely. I need a way to tie Nessa or Corvus to this scene. Finding fingerprints would be great, but there aren't many smooth surfaces in here. Oh, here we go. You carefully dust the Jordan almond fragments for fingerprints, and amazingly, you're able to recover a partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. Awesome. After comparing the partial fingerprint you obtained from the Jordan almond pieces, you conclude Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. Okay. Now am I done? Can I dust the raspberry jam for fingerprints? The large pot is already blackened and caked with ash from years of smoking meat. Trying to acquire prints from it will be fruitless. It was a good thought, though. Dust everything for fingerprints. Okay. Delicious wall. Where's Nathan? He said he was going to talk to Jack, but I forget if he said where they'd be. Oh, hello. Oh, right, because I told him about the study. Jack is methodically opening the books on the bookcase and leafing through them. It looks like he's looking for papers tucked inside them, but not having much luck. It looks like Nathan is looking for something in the cabinet. You breathlessly tell Nathan and Jack your theory about what happened in the smokehouse, ending with your belief that Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines. I do? Where did I get that? That's a... Okay. You think Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines? Those have been sealed shut for decades. I don't know, I feel like the game told me something I didn't necessarily figure out myself. Which makes them a perfect place to hide someone. Uh-oh. We should drive out there and check, just in case. I agree. It'll take some time to prep the automobile. To the carriage house. I'll meet you there. I'm going to fetch Ranger Murdoch. Stay put here in the lodge, Nancy, in case Mr. Richards comes back. Humph. Well, I'm certainly not going to just wait around here. I'll convince Jack and Nathan to take me with them. They need all the help they can get. But before I head out, should I check in with the other folks in the lodge? Yes, I should. If I can find anyone. Yeah, I don't know how I would have come to the conclusion that they took him to the Garnet mines. I don't know if there was anything that indicated that. But I may have just missed something. Oh. The big blue trunk's lid is up and the padlock hanging open. I wonder what was stored in here. Wasn't that I think Albert, I think? There's also that bathroom door was still closed. The blue steamer trunk is worn, dusty, and has a large crack in one of its corners. The blue trunk is open. The heavy padlock is hanging open on the trunk's latch. You peer into the blue trunk. There are some old threadbare linens lining the interior and obscuring the trunk's bottom. But by methodically feeling around inside, you discover a poisonous snake. No. A bullet and a blasting cap. My father was in construction. I know a blasting cap when I see one. But why would Albert put these in here? Jack let Albert store his things in this trunk. He wanted to lock this all away. The same as how he demanded to stay in Jack's room, the only bedroom with a lock. Seems like Albert was concerned about keeping his secrets. And he's armed? Uh-oh. The bullet and the blasting cap are still inside the blue trunk. You take the bullet. You take the blasting cap. You're no expert on guns, but this is definitely a bullet of some kind. It's a tin of blasting caps used to detonate larger explosives. There's only one left. You examine the bullet through the loop, but you don't know enough about bullets to glean any more information. The maker's mark is printed on the tin. You recognize the brand as one that is commonly used in Toronto. My father was in construction, so I know what these look like. Kids will sometimes play with them. Not me, but other kids. It's likely Albert purchased these blasting caps in Canada. They tend not to get shipped overseas because they're fairly hazardous materials. Though it's hard to tell with the design printed on the lid, you think you can see an oily smudge. You've revealed the fingerprint on the blasting cap's tin. Aha! Aha! As I suspected, this fingerprint belongs to Albert. Blasting caps are not standard mineralogist equipment. You search the trunk again, but you don't find anything else of interest. Wait, sorry, what was that? Oh, I missed something there. Maybe I should take a closer look at Albert's room. Kimmy, are you still in there? No response. Okay. Whose door is that? Ness's bedroom. Okay. What's happened here? Albert's room was a mess. Clothes are hanging haphazardly in the wardrobe, the wastepaper basket is stuffed full of papers, and all of his luggage is gone. Albert's room was in disarray. Crumpled papers are stuffed into his wastepaper basket and overflowing onto the floor. Clothes are scattered in the closet and his luggage is gone. It looks like he left in a hurry. The wardrobe was in disarray. The jackets looked like they'd been hastily pulled off the hangers, as if someone was packing in a hurry. You methodically check all the pockets in the garments that Albert left behind. In the last jacket pocket you find a train ticket stub. Ooh. You take the ticket stub. A train ticket stub that Albert left in his jacket pocket. You peer more closely at the train ticket stub. This stub was from Albert's journey up to Crimson. But this is for a ride in coach, the same as me and Kimi. He said he was in the first-class car. Albert lied to us. I didn't see him in our car. Was he concealing himself? Uh-oh. Thankfully, I've got my field kit up on the luggage rack. Do you see that old brown leather suitcase? Ah, yes, I see it. What does the field kit contain? Among other things, the field kit includes hardness picks. These are the most important tools of all for my work in Crimson. They have tips of different hardnesses, ranging from 2 to 9 on the Mohs scale. The hardness pick with the number 9 tip is indispensable for this trip. It will scratch just about anything except for diamonds. I'm so glad I have these tools with me. Otherwise, I'd be up a creek without a paddle. Indeed. Good luck with your work in Crimson. Thanks, I can't wait to get started. You and Kimi chat for a bit longer before dozing off into the afternoon. Oh, Albert, you shit. You stole my luggage, you bastard. That field kit was mine. Poirot, you dick. Yes, I'm a mineralogist, blah blah blah. Oh. Yeet. What a cool shot. Oh, my field kit is out in the middle of nowhere. It was Albert. He was in the train car after all. I remember the smell of those cigars, the ones he's been smoking in the lodge this whole time. And he got rid of my field kit to obstruct my investigation. I'm going to kill him. You see a cigar butt in the upper left drawer. Look, butt. Oops. One of Albert's cigar butts. He subbed it inside the desk drawer. Philistine. Shiv him with a tiny pick. Yes. Get butt. Take the cigar butt from the desk drawer. The coat of arms on the label of the cigar butt indicates that it's of Belgian make. The head of the cigar appears to have some oily smudges. Now that you're taking a closer look at the cigar butt, you can catch a whiff of its aroma. I've smelled this type of cigar before, and not just in the lodge. Dust butt. There were oily smudges ringing the cigar butt. After a generous application of soot, there are now sooty oily smudges ringing the cigar butt. It looks like the fingerprints got smeared as the butt was being twisted to put it out inside the drawer. I'm glad I tried, though. The geology and mineralogy books look as good as new. The titles are in German. I think we already read that. Yep. Albert takes care of his books, by which we mean he has never actually read them. Cigar amateur. You don't smash your cigar out like cigarette. You leave it to go out on its own. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, I guess like cigars they're much fancier. Much more etiquette around cigars, I guess, than there are around other things to smoke. I am not a smoker, and I hate being around anyone who smokes, so I do not know things about smoking. You'll stop eating yours. But that's a cool little tidbit of information. What is on the floor? Yes. Red and blue is one of your favorite color combinations. The carpet is a pleasing pattern, too. There's a strip of telegraph tape lying beside the wastepaper basket. The wastepaper basket is stuffed to capacity. I'm not surprised I'm not surprised the telegraph tape fell out. A red cylinder is partially hidden under Albert's bed. There's a strip of paper that seems to have fallen out of the wastepaper basket. You pick up the strip of telegraph paper. You can see some crumpled papers in the wastepaper basket. They don't appear to have anything written on them. The telegraph tape reads as follows. Carl L. Proceed to Sue Locks with package. Deliver package by 3 a.m. Await further instructions. Well done in crimson. Well done in crimson? What could that mean? And who on earth is Carl L? It's dark under the bed and the cylinder half hidden. You can't quite tell what it is. Trying to examine the cylinder more closely while it's still under the bed isn't yielding any additional information. You reach down to retrieve the red cylinder from Albert's bed. Uh-oh. I think this is a stick of dynamite. Yep, it's a stick of dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Dynamite is not a standard piece of mineralogical equipment. Albert stored blasting caps in the blue trunk and dynamite in his luggage, it seems. I'm starting to think he's not a mineralogist at all. There are rules. What are some of the rules of smoking cigars? Educate us. It's dynamite. Examining it more closely wouldn't make you feel any better. Quite the opposite, in fact. Can I light it? Can I eat it? I got a lot of inventory on my person. Oh, here's another thing. Can I streak the fragments? No? Okay. I think I'm getting the picture here. Albert isn't who he says he is. I believe he's headed to the Sioux Locks to sabotage them with explosives. I found a bullet and blasting caps in the blue trunk. Albert is probably armed, and is fairly well acquainted with how to use explosives, seeing as he knew to store his dynamite and blasting caps separately. This doesn't bode well. And I think he tossed my luggage out of the train to eliminate my field kit, so I couldn't interfere with his sham field work. He was in the train car with me and Kimi. His train ticket stub proves that, and I do remember the smell of his particular branded cigar. I need to head to the carriage house and tell Jack, Nathan, and Ranger Murdoch. Is anybody else around? Oh, Kimi's here, but she's asleep. Kimi is settled into a deep sleep. You hope she rests well. Basic manners like don't blow your smoke in people's face. You'd be surprised how many people don't understand that. Take the brand wrapper off your cigar. No one likes a show off. Interesting. I didn't know that one. That makes sense. Yeah, considering how like cigars are like a status symbol. That's neat. Yeah, neither did I. Okay, let's see. I should probably wrap it up. Man, I'm like all kinds of like embroiled in this. Oh, cool. Jack has set up the spare room as a makeshift bedroom for Ranger Murdoch. Do you wear the wrappers later as rings? Do you like collect them? Stars are dazzling. They're never this bright back home. Nobody at the conservatory. Nobody in the study. Yeah, I guess I already examined the shoe prints around the bench earlier in the game, which is how I figured out Corvus's shoe size. Oh, oh! What's this? The double door has been thrown wide open. You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed. I meant to go up north where the bench is, but I guess I'm here now. Jack, what's going on? The automobile's gone, Nancy. I can see that. Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You hear rumbling. Is that Thunder? Nope, that's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go. Right. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff. Decently well? It'll be fine, Nancy. Just hang on tight. You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine. Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry we couldn't meet under better circumstances. Oh my god. How do we all fit in this tiny car? I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified. Evan's in danger. I will help my friend. We can figure out the rest later. I will safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation, I promise. Let's deal with that later. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You do? What makes you think so, Nancy? Albert's luggage is gone and his room is a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage and Jack said it was very heavy. It sure was. There's no way he could have handled all that luggage himself unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving it to the Sioux Locks to destroy it. I stumbled upon a confrontation between Albert and Kimi. He was furious with her. It was such a bewildering encounter. Kimi had a map with the Sioux Locks circled. I think that had something to do with Albert leaving so suddenly. He must have thought she was onto his sabotage plan, but Kimi told me she was interested in seeing the Sioux Locks as a tourist. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy. And his name might actually be Carl L. Carl L? Where did you hear that name? I found the telegraph tape and stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And I found a bullet and a blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed, and dangerous. Fantastic detective work, Nancy. I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat. Oh, also, I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk. And he's knowledgeable about with explosives. He was storing the blasting caps and dynamite separately. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous. Got it. I'll keep all that in mind when we confront him, Nancy. Thank you. Please be careful. I will. I'll tell you how it goes when we meet again. Mr. Cardinal, could you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the Sioux Locks as soon as possible. Of course, but first to the Garnet Mines. They're closer. Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert will take some hours to arrive at his destination. Nathan stops his automobile as close to the Garnet Mine as he dares. The ground is rugged and any roads leading to and from the area have fallen into disrepair many years ago. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for Evan could be dire. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. Woo! The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Nessa and Corvus took Evan. Oh no, my theory's wrong. Nancy, wait a minute. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention, this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful. Confrontations! How are we going to get in? Dunno, but I'm going to grab that shovel and start digging. You do that. I'm going to save my game. And we're going to pick up next time. Jack starts digging at the rubble at the mine entrance. I've got to help Jack with this. Autosaved. I'm going to save anyway. Alright. So I will end it there. And let's see if there's anyone around that I want to raid. Who is around? Who can I raid? There haven't really been a lot of people that I want to raid lately, and that seems to be the same, about the same tonight as well. No one's streaming anything good. Let's see. Actually, let me see if let me check my other Discords to see if anyone around there is streaming anything good. Streaming. Not a lot of streams going on that I can see. Oh, that's weird. No, whatever. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna sign off, and I will be back next week on Tuesday for more Paradigm, and then on Wednesday for more Crimson Diamond. I am excited to see how this turns out, and bet, I bet we're getting close to the end of this game, so I should probably start thinking about what I'm going to stream after it. I had an idea, I think, and now I forgot what it was, so I'll give that some more thought. And I also got to figure out what to stream next on Tuesdays once I'm done with Paradigm, but that'll be a thing for the straw poll when I eventually make one. So thank you for coming, everybody. Hope you had a good time tonight. I sure did. Thank you for the raid once again. Lovely to see you all, and I hope to see you again. Have a good night, folks. Take care. Bye.